This week on Bad Brackets, what's in a logo? Welcome back to Bad Brackets. My name is Randy Isbell, bringing in three guests to debate it out, argue, fight, do all the normal stuff. As long as they start being mad at me and at the end they're mad at each other, that's what the show is all about. This week, your guests are your five-time champion, Mr. Robert Hagan. Robert, welcome back.
Notice. Let's toast the champs. Cheers to the five-time champ.
Looking for his fourth victory and the all-time leader by a long margin for the most third-place finishes, Mr. Eric Watkins.
Look, bronze medals are still medals. I don't see what the problem is.
Are they when there's three people? We can't afford the bronze medals, by the way, just so you know.
Semantics, Randy. Semantics.
And joining us for the very first time, Mr. Brian Bromling. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Congratulations on graduation.
Thank you so much. It was a couple of days ago. When this comes out, I appreciate it. Thank you. Everyone's happy for me now, but let's change that, shall we? Let's go over the rules, especially as we have somebody new. Oh, I haven't even said this week's episode. Just trying to fly through. Best current Major League Baseball logo. That is what we are doing. You saw it on the title of the episode. But current logo. We'll get questions here in a second. We'll go over the rules real fast. Each of these contestants will have three possible items on their bracket. We'll go through in a snake draft format. We'll figure out who gets to go first here in just a moment. Points are given based on the seed that item is at. So if it's a 14 seed, you get 14 points. But if it's not on the bracket, you get nothing. Before the show, these three gentlemen gave me their final four predictions and their champion. If they get the final four pick right, they get 2 extra points. If they get 5, or if they get the correct champion, they get 5 bonus points. And I will say it until we get there. 24 seeds. So it's always a 24 seeded bracket. There's one seed that has not been picked. In how many episodes are we in now? This is episode 18. 17 episodes. There's one seed that has not been drafted yet. If you draft that seed, you get 3 bonus points. Now you can ask your question, Robert.
I just want to play spoiler for a minute. Eric, there is no Jollibee's logo.
Look, I understand they are not what you would necessarily see on the field, but if you ever want to go for a nice post-game meal, chow down, spaghetti, fried chicken, you name it, Jollibee is the place to go. And even if you are, or maybe you're not Jollibee, still hit the like button, go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell, all of those things. And if you are Jollibee, yes, I have been tweeting you. And hey, I am not sponsored by you guys yet. Neither is this show. But we can make that change. We can make some things happen.
By the way, I love that you keep tweeting at Jollibee's every time we have an episode, and I don't think they've tweeted in 3 years. Is Jollibee still around? Jollibee's, are you alive? Let us know.
I noticed that there's 2 links to Jollibee. So I tweeted back to your comment that when you posted on your Twitter, and I put a different Jollibee. So we'll see which one works.
Because again, for the main one, that's more in the Philippines. That's why I also tweet at Jollibee USA.
Let's just get right on it. This is what happens on Bad Brackets. We lose our minds. Let's figure out who gets to go first as we spin the old wheel. And your first pick will go to your 5-time champion. The second pick is Eric.
Okay.
So Brian will get our last pick in the first round. He gets to see how it all goes down. And then he gets back-to-back picks. Bring this up. There we go. Also, Brian, I acknowledge you for having fun with the selfie. There's some people that get it. There's some people that don't. Robert, I'm looking at you. Give me a funny selfie. I always tell all these guests. Robert, he sent me a normal picture. Brian had fun with it, and I appreciate it. But, Robert, you're the first pick.
Well, I will send you a new picture because after this one, it'll be a 6-time champion. I'm going with one that is kind of cool. I like it. You just razzed me a few minutes ago about this team. Give me the Cleveland Guardians.
Guardians is the very first pick. Eric.
From one somewhat crisp, stylized letter to another. The Washington Nationals.
Nationals. Brian, you get back-to-back picks. By the way, guys, it's a good episode for points. 24-team bracket. Oh, there's only 30 teams, so you only have 6 chances to not make this bracket.
Give me the Arizona Diamondbacks.
D-backs on the board. Give me one more.
And then I will go with the New York Yankees.
Yankees. A New York Yankee fan is hosting bad brackets. Are the Yankees on the board? We'll wait and find out. Good chance. Eric.
This is going to be a little bit of a test of your rancidness.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it a shot because if there could be any sort of theme setups for your bracket, this could be part of it. The Kansas City Royals.
Royals. There is a theme, and there is a method to my madness this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I will, unlike the golf episode, where I revealed my rancidness at the end, where I took it straight from a website that you guys were looking at that day, I'm going to reveal the method to my madness once this draft is done. Robert, you got back-to-back picks.
So this one, as much as this team is not doing, I like what they've done with their logo, tweaking it a little bit. Give me Miami. Give me the Marlins.
Marlins. And you get one more.
I'm going this way just because, and that's my youth. Give me the Atlanta Braves.
Braves. Eric, last pick.
Not my home team, but someone else's on this show. The Seattle Mariners.
Mariners. Brian, you get the final pick.
And I will finish up with the Houston Astros.
The Houston Garbage Cans. That's what we're going with. Also, proud husband moment. I said that joke when Haley asked me who the Yankees were playing last week. I said the Garbage Cans. And she goes, "Oh, the Astros. That's fun." I go, "Oh, I love you so much." All right, let's get in to the bracket. And I said I was going to reveal the rancidness here.
Uh-oh. He's going
Here.
off camera.
Hold on. Let's get to a good shot. Here is a nice poster that I have at my house that has not been put up in the new office just yet. Has all the logos on it, all the Major League Baseball logos. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I then had a special bracketeer. My 7-year-old daughter, who really wants to be on the show, and we're trying to make that happen once we get to the summer months, sat down with that poster. She did not have the bracket, so she was not coming up with themes. She went 1 to 24 for her favorite logos. So if you get mad at these seedings, you're going to yell at a 7-year-old.
You see, there's levels of rancid. There's levels to this, but this is a new one. How could I get that? Wow.
By the way, these are the logos that she drew. I'll bring myself back to the normal. She's a Cincinnati Bengals fan because she's crazy like her brother. And she put a little LC here since I had just graduated. So there you go. She knows her logos, guys. So let's get right into it. And we're going to give away points right off the bat. Because your 14 seed is the New York Yankees. We went old school here. I didn't have time to do all the elaborate stuff. But we're going old school. It's just going to pop up. But the Yankees are on there, Brian, with 14 points right off the bat. Yankees or the Athletics? Athletics, the 19 seed. Which one moves on? But no, literally, I was going through these logos trying to come up with my own rankings and was trying to find websites for it and stuff. And I went, you know what would be really funny? What would a 7-year-old think?
So that way we can't get mad at you and I can't use the usual words that I would use in these situations.
I'm getting smarter. I graduated and now I'm using my brain.
He's working smarter, not harder.
100%, absolutely.
Make her work.
Absolutely. All right. Which one, though, moves on? How painful was it for you guys all to...
But there's something to say about the top hat and sitting on a bat. I mean, that's just iconic. So
yeah, a lot of people forget.
And I hate
a lot of people forget that's the actual team logo. It's not the NY that's on all the hats.
No, because because you think the Yankees and your typical slices of Americana, and especially around big times in history and stuff, the Yankees logo just fits that.
All right, let's go ahead and get to our second matchup of this quadrant. And I believe... No points. No points. I thought there was. I was wrong. Your 11th seed, the Colorado Rockies. And I wish... I just want to say right now, I wish I recorded this when I had Addie go through this 1 to 24 list. She had nicknames for all of them. I didn't tell her what the team names were. Some of her nicknames were hilarious. By the way, the Yankees are the Hat Bats. I do remember that one.
Love it.
But the Rockies are up against the old Texas Rangers. Which logo is better, the Rockies or the Rangers? Another thing I noticed while doing this project with her and getting things set up, a lot of major league teams are very boring with their logos, and they just make it a letter.
I noticed that a lot today.
Yes. But which one moves on, Rockies or Rangers? Let me see.
I have to say it.
Rangers over Rockies. Brian, why'd you go Colorado?
Well, they were both pretty bland, and so I just went with CR. But yeah, that was the better of the two, I thought.
Totally fair. Eric, why'd you go Rangers?
At least there was a little bit of effort in the logo, a little bit more of that Texas feel, and even with the blandness of the CR, I'm not a big fan of that particular font that they used, especially highlighting more of the gray than they're more purple or black. It's just, ugh.
All right, move on to the second round and my daughter's third favorite logo. The Angels, the Los Angeles Angels.
That's going to make Alicia happy.
I'm sure she'll find out. The Yankees or Angels? Which one moves on? There were some interesting picks that she made.
And she knows you're a big Yankee fan.
Yeah, and put them 14th. Which did make me laugh because, again, I don't really change the order of which bracket pops up. So the 14 seed being the very first team that popped up is like, that works. It worked out pretty good. All right, let's see who moves on to the finals of this quadrant. Yankees or Angels?
I hate saying this, but there you go.
Yankees survive. Brian, welcome to being the odd man out. It seems to happen to the new guys. We pick on them a little bit, but Brian, again, your pick does not move on. Why'd you go with the Angels?
Well, I like the halo. It's kind of cute. In the halos and the angels. They got the halo over the top of the A.
I don't think in all of the 18 sessions of this show that we've ever used the word cute to describe anything. I'm just saying.
There have been words like attractiveness. I feel like when we did the best 90s sitcoms, it just became who had the best looking female star to Harry.
For the record, that wasn't even me either.
Yeah.
Because I know what people are thinking.
I'm trying to remember if the best Disney villain
I don't
brought up
remember
any
using
cuteness. Animated Disney movie might have had some cuteness in it all the way back at episode 2. It might not have been the very first time cute was used.
That was the first
to move somebody on.
The villains one was the first time that you were extremely, extremely rancid because you didn't have Maleficent as high as you should have. Just saying.
God, how are we? I'm going to take wins away from you at this point.
Okay.
For being
that works.
No.
Eric's in. Right. All right, write it down. Take a win
9.
away from Robert, yes or no. Put the votes down and let's take a vote. Now, move on to your 6th seed, and I always have to bring this back up to see if we get any points. No points. Through one quadrant, the new guy, the only one that's going to get points so far. But your 6th seed is the Dodgers. I almost had to change the background color because the Dodgers really blend in. But Dodgers, Rangers. Who moves on? All right. Let's see who faces the New York Yankees in the finals of the quadrant. Dodgers, Dodgers, Dodgers. Everybody goes to Dodgers. Robert, why'd you go LA?
There's just something. You look at the logo on the outside of Chavez Ravine and you see it up on the wall. It just looks so iconic with it, with the ball exploding on it. It just it's a cool graphic to think of. For me, it reminds me a lot of Vin Scully, and I remember when he talked about that logo coming out and how in depth it was. So
right. There are some logos that have some hidden meanings in places. Dodgers not as much. We'll get to some of those logos as we get in. But as you guys write down your pick for the first Final Four selection, Yankees or Dodgers. Again, I wish I would have recorded when Addie was doing this because of the nicknames that she had for some of these teams. Anybody want to take a guess on what she said for the Dodgers?
Something
flying
to
balls.
do with that baseball. Flying ball.
The flying baseball is exactly what she called them. I do remember that one as well. There was a couple of them that stuck out because she had some good one-liners for sure. All right. Brian, just so you know, when we get to the finals, I like to have a side game where I try to figure out where each of you are going to go, see if we can have a split. But you are the new guy. I haven't figured you out just yet, so let me see yours first. Oh, you went New York. All right. Eric, let me see yours.
As much as it pained me to do it.
Ooh, did I pick wrong or was it a clean sweep, Robert? Clean sweep. Yankees have made the Final Four just as I had set up.
the red, white. Listen, it's all your logo is all about the red, white, and blue hat and the bat sitting on it.
That's fair. Totally fair. All right, let's move right on to the second quadrant. By the way, Brian has a 14-0 lead. Let's see if we change that here. What do we got? 15-18. Yeah, let's get a new leader, shall we? Your very first matchup. The Minnesota Twins
The Twinkies.
against the Flying G's, as Addy called them, the Guardians. 18 points to your 5-time winner. By the way, congratulations to Robert. This is his 10th episode on Bad Brackets. Second person ever to do so. Who moves on, Twins or Guardians?
You can't spell twins without win, and they don't do it here.
The Guardians. You guys like that logo? I'm not a big fan.
I actually do. I thought that for a mid kind of name, they got the logo right.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely fair. Brian, your thoughts on the Cleveland Guardian logo?
Yeah, something new for the city, and changing their nickname. They came up with a pretty exciting logo, I think, for their nickname.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, that makes sense. And the Twins logo is just there, so I get that. Let's move on. Your 10 seed, San Diego Padres. I was really curious with Addie. There's a lot of logos that are just letters, and she picked a lot of them at near the top, so she liked it. Your 23 seed and points to Brian.
Ooh.
Big one for the newbie.
Wow.
23 points there, but who moves on, Padres or Astros?
Eric, do you feel like we're treading in a canoe that's sinking right now?
I'm already got the bucket, and I'm just starting to. Yeah.
That's
And again, I can't say what I would normally say because of who came up with the bracket.
Yes.
You put me in some interesting spots, sir.
You're welcome. Who moves on? Houston. Ew. I mean, it's just against an S and a D, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
San Diego's just so plain.
Yep.
At least get.
There's-
Yeah, I mean, even for a colorblind person, put some color into it. That's not just 2 letters.
Right.
It's
I
probably
totally agree.
teams that have 2 letters like that.
Let's move on. Any guesses, now that you know where this bracket came from, on a 7-year-old girl's second favorite logo?
Toronto.
The Mariners.
Milwaukee.
No, guys. It's all about royalty.
Oh,
The crown.
KC.
Kansas City. Her second favorite logo against the Guardians. Which one's better, Royals or Guardians? Oh, by the way, 2 points to Eric.
Yeah, I didn't expect. Okay, then.
This is why I did not reveal the bracket creator until you guys had done your votes, because I'm sure it would have changed a lot of thoughts. If I was a fair host and a fair bracketeer, I would have given you this information so you could have got into the thought of a child looking at logos that was not a big baseball fan.
Sorry, when do the words rancid and fair ever mix well?
I never said. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a fair host. I'm rancid, and I bring
even bring
the
up
evil.
that nibble of, oh, if I were that makes it worse.
All right, who moves on? Guardians over Kansas City. You just broke her heart.
Oh man.
Just, if she ever watched this episode, man, she's going to be so sad that Royals did not move on. It's just so disappointing.
The way that you are speaking, your tone of voice, like this air.
Man, I'm having fun. I have fun in the show. My favorite time of the week. You guys just rag on me the whole time, but this one, you can't do anything. That might be my favorite episode.
That's what makes it
I'm-
worse.
I'm bulletproof this week. Your 7th seed. Yeah, Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates?
What is
or
it? What is it with
Astros?
her in single letters?
I don't know. I
And
really don't. Like, there were some choices she made. I was surprised by it because it's just a letter.
Well, I mean, if you use baseball logos to help you with your alphabet, that's actually a good thing.
Oh, she's a bit past that, but. And it wasn't like I was telling her the team names or she went Pirates. It was just straight off the logos. So I don't know. Though, to be fair, Chase played 2 years of Little League and does have a pirate shirt. So that may have played a factor. All right, Pirates or Astros? Who moves on?
Yeah.
Astros get in over the P. Not too surprising there. Let's just hop right into it. Astros or Guardians? Who joins the Yankees in the Final Four? This one's tough for me to try to figure out who I'm going to go with because the Guardians were a clean sweep all the way to this point, and the Astros were a clean sweep all the way to this point. So I haven't even found one where you guys differed away from a logo. Robert, let me see yours. Eric, let me see yours. No. Brian, was it a clean sweep?
Nope.
Denied.
Randy is not rancid anymore. We caught him.
Can't even hear you guys. There we go. But the Guardians move on. Brian, why'd you go Houston?
Space City. They kind of went with that theme, and that's what it looked like to me. It was a little better than the Guardian.
I don't know. That's a whole different new topic with the city jerseys. Yes, I like their city jerseys, but the logo's still.
Yeah.
That's fair. Maybe we'll do a City Connect episode at one point. But.
Yes, definitely yes.
All right, let's move
Sponsored
on.
by Jollibees.
One day we'll get sponsored, and that's the level of sponsor Bad Brackets will get. That's for sure.
Hashtag Jollibees.
All right, your 13 seed Air Quadrant number 3. St. Louis Cardinals.
Bird bats?
Yeah. Bird bats. Bats on a bird or something. Went that way. Against the Rays. I don't think she had a good nickname for the Rays. But.
Which is okay. It's okay. Yeah, the bucket's getting used a little bit faster, Robert.
Anybody have those? No. All right, who moves on? Rays, St. Louis, break the tie. The Cardinals. Eric, your team can't even win the first round of this.
Hey. It's early yet in this season, and we have bounced back from going out in the first round several times and have done just fine.
That is fair. I'm with you guys. I like the Cardinal logo. It works out really good. The little bat stand works out. It's clean.
I like it having a picture, something, the meaning behind it. That's for what's the Rays? Just showing that they can run around a diamond.
Well, but the diamond, but the sun, the rays, rather than, an unfortunate sea creature that happened to kill a beloved personality. We wised up.
That's fair. The Blue Jays are your 12 seed. Addie like the Leaf. They go up against the Giants. Just straight up normal logo with just flop a baseball in the background. Which one goes on? I guess they both have a baseball in the background, huh? No points again, by the way. All right, who moves on?
me
Oh,
Canada.
our home and native
Well, now we're gonna
land.
get a copyright strike, and it's just depressing.
I will keep going.
No,
if that's
Please go.
the
That's
benefit
what
of
I was
it.
moving on. All right, I keep doing this for the teams with the buys. Any guesses for a 7-year-old girl's fourth favorite logo?
I'm gonna say the Phillies with a P.
Anybody else?
The Reds?
It is
Orioles.
points. It is points for somebody.
Wow.
Okay.
Seattle Mariners.
Okay.
Haley's rancid. I'm just saying that right now.
I-
She's getting rancid.
You mean Adeline?
That's what I meant.
Yeah. I mean, Haley is a different rancid. But we'll get her takes on things later. Should be on
this
another episode.
This one's tough.
They can't all be easy.
I'm looking at this and I know what's coming at the end of the show, and I'm like, had I had known beforehand, my strategy would have been backwards.
Yeah, 1,000% would have been backwards. Good thing the champ poured one.
There you go. You needed one today, that's for sure. Which one moves on, Cardinals or Mariners? 1 for the Mariners, 2 for the Mariners. 1 for St. Louis. Brian, why'd you stick with the Birds?
One of the earliest franchises that stood the test of time. They haven't really tweaked it at all. And so I thought that's what Addie would go with.
Yeah, because she knows the history for sure. 100%. You got right into her mindset. It made sense. Let's give away some more points. Your 5 seed. The Atlanta Braves. Braves or Blue Jays? Which one goes on? Okay. Let's see them.
The year was 1991.
Well, Eric says 92 down here. But
Yeah, because that
92
was
is the year they won.
Yep.
That's when they beat the Braves.
But Eric, why'd you go Toronto over Atlanta since you got outvoted?
I like the stylization of the Braves logo, especially with the little tomahawk with the chop. But honestly, for a team embracing their home country but not making it too Canadian, you're having the leaf right there, almost like a little bit of a plumage for the Blue Jay. I mean, chef's kiss.
Absolutely. And hey, a 7-year-old can make a bracket. The top 2 seeds moved on. 4 seed versus 5 seed. She knew what she was doing. Mariners, Braves. Who joins the Yankees? Was it the Guardians or it was the Guardians that moved on, right?
Yeah.
That was 5 minutes ago. I forget. Yankees, Guardians, and who in our final 4?
The team of my now against the team of my youth. This one's tough.
I mean, the team of your future, the Yankees, are already in the final 4.
How would you put that evil on him?
He'll convert at some point.
Ew,
When Julio Rodriguez becomes a Yankee, maybe he'll judge. You think it's a joke? Ichiro became a Yankee, all right? Everyone. The Mariners just become Yankees when they get older.
Yeah, and then you look at the end. Ichiro was a Marlin. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, at some point, they get too old for the Yankees, I guess. All right. Oh, man. Brian, let me see yours first. I think Eric went the other way.
You chose wisely.
I mostly was hoping you guys went opposite ways because somebody right over
This
here
one hurts.
was talking about his youth and his now, and now he has to make the decision. It's all
This
on Robert.
hurts. This hurts. This is terrible.
This is your 7-10 split, is it?
This. I mean, Dale Murphy, Otis Nixon compared to Julio, and
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the people on the field. It's about the logo. That's it. What we're
I know, but
it means more to some people, though. Randy, sometimes.
I agree. Mariners move on. Here is your points with one bracket to go. I said there were only 6 teams that were not going to make the bracket. You still have 3 out here that have not made it so far. Eric, you are crushing it with the 7-year-old. Got 2 of her top 5. You got to feel so proud of yourself in your 6 points.
Again, had I known, my strategy would have been backwards. Completely backwards. I guarantee that.
It's great. Brian with the lead. We got 1 quadrant left to go. Now, I told you guys, and I was not lying. I have not adjusted these. I have not changed anything. That she went 1 to 24. Didn't know where the matchups were going to lie. Nothing. Yet. She is my daughter. And she knows how to make a matchup with a theme. It's what we love here on Bad Brackets. So, your first matchup in the last quadrant.
points. Sox.
The Chicago White Sox or
Don't tell me.
the Boston Red Sox. This was not played for laughs. It just kind of happened. It did help that it was a 16 and 17 seed. So she saw one Sox and went to the other one. But. Do you like your Sox logo with socks or without socks? All right. Show me an answer.
Give me the bloody sock.
Red Sox clean sweep. You guys like your socks in the logo then?
To quote Chuck Woolery, there's 13 things going on in my head right now, and I can't say any of them.
All right. Your final first round matchup.
We need points, baby, points.
If you like the logo, this has a fun little design to it. She was a big fan of it. Philadelphia Phillies and the Broken Bell, as she called it, against your 24 seed, the last team she put on her list, the Milwaukee Brewers. Phillies or Brewers? Who moves on?
This is pain. This is pain.
I think one of the logos is a smidge different. But
yeah, to be fair to Addie, the Brewers logo that she picked was that one. But the Phillies one's just a different color, but it's the same thing. But the Brewers one she picked was a little different. All right, let's see him. Brewers all the way. Robert, why'd you go Milwaukee?
well, like I said, I think that Brewers one that I saw was a little bit different. I love the way that on the yellow hat that it stands out with the. I think it's part of their city one, but it's still the same logo like that. It's just twisted just a little bit different, but the coolness of entwining the letters with the baseball, just really cool.
Yeah,
Making
they
it like
tweak.
a glove.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Perfect.
tweak a lot of things. That's for sure. Any guesses now that we've seen 22 of her 24 picks? What her number one team logo is? Anybody want to
Probably-
venture a guess?
I'm gonna say the Chicago Cubs.
Brian, what about you?
Arizona.
Eric,
I
what
might-
about you? You've been nailing them. You've been nailing these top 5 picks.
Yeah, and look exactly how that's worked out for me. But I would have to say, wanting to be different from Arizona, Baltimore.
You're crushing it. It is the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles, Red Sox, AL East matchup. Who moves on? A lot of love in the LCSC press box for Addie. Angels, Orioles, Mariners. Had them all up there in her top 4. Kyle Ferguson, who used to work at LC, was one of my mentors when I went there. He was a Royals fan, so there's your other top 4. So there you go.
Wow, this one's tough.
But which one moves on? Let's see. Oh, sweet. Clean
Denny
sweep.
Grub.
Danny's going to have to
I
watch
hope
this
you're happy,
episode.
Denny.
Yeah.
Going to have to watch it now.
With that being said, Eric, he did put up a new Orioles calendar in the press box, like he said he was.
He absolutely did.
Again, he was like, oh, he wants me in Oriole colors. I'm like, hey, you ship the jersey as long as it's not Matt Wieters. Fine.
There you go. Your final team that will make it to this bracket. The New York Mets. The city, as Adeline called them. So there were 6 teams that did not make this bracket, and you 3 picked 3 of them. I'm very proud of you.
I can see the thoughts burning in your mind, Eric.
I'm trying to think. So, Diamondbacks, Nationals, Marlins, we nailed. What were the other 3 that she did not put on the bracket? The Reds,
The Cubs.
the Cubs, and the Tigers. She
Right.
did not like the D. She did not like the Cubs, and she did not like the Reds. Yeah.
This one.
I think I am actually really surprised she did not go Marlins at any point.
The giant
I'm
fish.
surprised Robert got no points there. But who moves on? The Mets or the Brewers? Brewers. Clean sweep. Anybody like the Mets logo? It's another
It needs-
baseball logo.
That one's been around for a while, and that's
Yeah.
the one that I mean, we like the tradition. I said that with the other Yankee one, but that was one that I think that needs to change because there's so much has adapted in New York now. If you're gonna do Skitty-scape, let's do something different. So
That's fair. All right, you've moved the 24 seed all the way to the finals. Her favorite or the last one she picked for the bracket? Which one do you guys move on? Orioles or Brewers? All right. While we do that, let me. So it's the Yankees and Guardians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get that logo up. And then the Mariners versus the one you guys are going to pick here. Oops. All right. Let's see. Man, let me see Robert. Brewers. Let me see Erik. Yeah, I believe it's a clean sweep then. Brian, let me see your. Oh, he went to O's. Oh,
That's 2 tonight, Randy. 2.
yeah, but you don't know the information that I know, and I didn't
Which
realize.
is why
Brian was,
I would have
I
thought.
didn't.
I would have thought.
I did not realize Brian was one of those players. But the
I
Brewers
think-
move on. Brian, why'd you go Baltimore?
We
Go ahead and
actually,
say it.
I have a coworker that we talk about this at work, and he actually, this is his favorite logo is the Orioles because it's been the same forever and it's never changed a lot. So it's funny that this is the show that I'm on because it's his favorite logo. And that's why I went with it.
Man, this show never fails to surprise me with some of the way you guys go about things. But here you go. Here's your final 4. Yankees against the Guardians, Mariners against the Brewers. One of these teams has the best logo in Major League Baseball, and the other 29 need to throw them away and try again. But which is it? Let's start with Yankees and Guardians. Let's go with that matchup first. So hold on. Well, you guys, so we have that. We have. And we have that. Okay.
I just
What?
what
Oh,
just the way Erik looks.
I just can't. I can't. I want to, but I can't.
maybe after the show. Maybe after the show. Let's see. Yankees and Guardians. Brian, we're starting with you. Who would possibly go Guardians? Is it Hagen? No. Clean sweep?
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. Yankees move on to the finals. But who do they go up against? The Mariners or the Brewers? Everybody got their answers? Erik, I'm going to start with you. Mariners. Brian? Okay. The tiebreaker.
Again.
Robert Hagen. I nailed it. I got one. Show me the answer. The Brewers. He couldn't go with his Mariners. He eliminated the Braves and then he eliminated the Mariners. He needs to just toss away all of his fandom.
Harmon Killebrew. We'll just say that. I'm going to show you the picture after the show.
Harmon Killebrew does not make the logo.
I know. But I'm going to show you the picture why I picked this logo. So.
All right.
Yes.
Finals.
Harmon Killebrew, I believe, former Washington senator.
Yankees and the Brewers. Which one has the better current logo? All right. Everybody have their champion. Looks like Brian is writing as we speak. I'm going to start with the new guy. Brian, let me see yours. Milwaukee. All right. Eric, let me see yours. The Brewers take it all. Robert, was that a clean sweep?
Out of spite. Spite, I say.
Brewers, the best logo in Major League Baseball. Interesting. Guys, overall thoughts while I tally up the total scores?
Why?
Please make sure you add them correctly. we're
Yes.
Eric and I are scraping for points.
I quit scraping for points some time ago. Resistance was futile.
I don't know. Brian was doing just fine with points. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
So here is what you guys had. And this is why I was shocked that Brian went Baltimore over Milwaukee, because he had them both in the Final Four, but he had the Brewers as his champion, and then he voted for Baltimore. Could have cost himself some points, but a pretty good mix, I would say, as far as you guys' picks for the logos. Robert's the only one that had the Yankees. Eric had the Diamondbacks and the Marlins in there, which Addie did not have on her bracket at all. But, you know, what are you going to do when a 7-year-old runs the show, right?
Treat her to Jollibee?
I will let her know that the next time it is up to her to come up with the seedings, that she needs to take your thoughts into consideration. And if you do, or if she does, that you would take her to Jollibee's.
Deal.
We'll see if
I'll take her to ice cream.
Sorry, Eric, that might have just swayed it to Roberts.
She can get ice cream after Jollibee's. I'll do both.
I'm going to get the 7-year-old all of the stuff from you guys. It's going to be great. I figured out how to make bad brackets work even better. I'm just going to have Addie pick all the stuff. You guys seem like you're a little bit more calm and accepting of the bracket.
Because she's 7. Every time I wanted to say something in my head, it's like, no, she is 7. She is adorable. She is innocent. No.
So, with that said, your final scores look like this. It took me a bit to add up Eric's score, but we got there. Brian comes in for one episode and takes it down. 46 points, half of them coming from the Houston Astros. You should be ashamed of yourself that you won because of a garbage can.
Look, if it works for them, it can work for anyone.
Real quick, celebratory talk there from Mr. Brian. Your thoughts on winning your first ever episode here?
That was a fun episode. I like the topic tonight, and it was fun being with Eric and Robert and you. And hopefully, you guys will bring me back for to defend my title.
Well, I would hope so, because like the Astros, this title in my mind has a gigantic asterisk on it. I'm just saying.
I will say, Brian, we will have you on again. It will not be to defend your title, because while you do know baseball and you got logos, I don't think you're going to be very good at our next topic for next week's episode. I'll just say that right now. We'll talk about that here in a second. Quick, because we love the stats here on the show. Brian becomes our 8th different winner here on Bad Brackets. And speaking of 8, that is how many times Eric Watkins has finished dead last.
Eric, cheers to you, sir.
My points lead is just dwindling.
Yeah, it is. It's sad.
Have I caught him yet in points? That's what I gotta be pretty darn close.
Points. Eric was at 338.
+8.
What
We
is it
add
with the number 8 this week?
So he gets 8 points, so he is at 346. 346. Robert was at 313. I'm so glad you asked this question because you got 34 points or 347. Robert Hagen by 1 point has taken the all-time scoring lead here on Bad Brackets. So while you do not extend your total wins record to 6, you do get a new record here on Bad Brackets, and you're going to need it because I don't know the next time we're having Robert Hagen on the show. We will figure out once we get into June. I have episodes lined up. I don't have guests yet. We will get into it. But with that said, we're going to have a whole new crop next week. Sean Garmer comes back on the show. Scott, who was on the Final Fantasy show, he is going to come back for his second episode. And Wes Harrington, who was on the Wrestling Video Games episode, is also going to be on the show next week as we do the best Capcom games to celebrate their anniversary. And guys, I was rancid with you guys because a 7-year-old came out with this bracket. I am rancid with them, though they know it, because that bracket has a rule in place that there's only one game per franchise in the bracket, because I didn't want it just to be Resident Evil and Mega Man and Street Fighter. So there's only one Mega Man game. There's only one Resident Evil game. Only one of the Street Fighters can make the bracket, and so on and so forth. So not only do they have to come up with the best ones, but come the draft time, they got to figure out which one I put on the bracket. We're gonna
Here's a potential hint, Lady Dumitrescu.
Here's a hint. No. All right, so that's going to be next week's episode. After that, we got a couple of fun ones. We got a wrestling episode set up. We got another sports episode coming up. And then we get really into June. We got some fun stuff. I will share it with these guys off air, try to fill out the rosters as we go forward. But I want to thank Robert. I want to thank Eric. And, of course, I want to thank our first-time contestant and our first-time winner, Brian, for joining the show as he comes away with 46 points and gets the win. We will be back next week for the best Capcom games of all time. But before then, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the fun YouTube stuff, as Eric asked earlier on in the show. I'm hoping one of these times we will be able to look back at these early days of Bad Brackets and think of the small times as hopefully it starts to grow and grow. But we hit 20 subscribers, and I'm so stoked about it. And we always hit, you guys have been awesome. We hit double-digit viewers each week. Those that are watching the show get into it, and I very much appreciate all of you. I really do mean it. We have a lot of fun. Right? This is not a show that we're trying to make a lot of money on. It is just to get together as friends and yell at each other for an hour. And I'm so glad that some of you guys get into it as well. But don't forget, good brackets do not last forever, but bad brackets do.